Hello, this is a Bluthner style 7 grand piano that's 192 centimetres long, 6 foot 4 inches long. It's a piano that we restored for a client in 2021 and it's come into stock. So I just want to see what other work we might need to do to improve the piano and also to appreciate it. My colleagues French polished it. This is 70 coats of French polish finished off by antique waxing, so it's not too shiny, so we can see the grain, because when you repolish Bluthner grand pianos, as I've mentioned before, it does bring out most spectacular grain underneath. So this is such a contrast in the colour here. We've got very dark grain right through to a light grain, spectacular rosewood of this age, and we've French polished many Bluthner grand pianos. There's plenty of videos showing other Bluthner grand pianos that we've also French polished. We actually have 4 Bluthner grand pianos in stock at the moment, so we're very encouraged by that, and about 3 of them have been French polished by ourselves. So you can see the reflection of the light there, but we don't want it to be too reflective, because otherwise it just reflects everything that's in the room and you don't see the grain. So you can see again on the top lid here, very spectacular. There's no fade line here. That's very fortunate, because very often when you lift the lid here, there is a fade line there, and that does obviously devalue the piano, though it's nothing to do with the musicality of the piano, obviously. But we always appreciate and admire this grain, and really thrilled when we get a chance to French polish them. This is the long side of the piano, again very spectacular. I've just pulled this forward to show you that these are removable. The idea was you can put your candlesticks on here to shine onto the music, and Bluthner grands have those, the older Bluthner grands, so that's something you might have wondered what that was for. And the music stand pulls forward for focal length. As I've mentioned before, I use glasses normally, so I don't have my glasses on when I'm reading music. On the grand piano, fortunately, you can pull this forward, and so you don't need to wear glasses, or at least I don't, fortunately, anyway. And you see, here's the fall. So again, the grain, wherever you look at the piano, is very spectacular. Now, it's the instrument that really matters to us, and obviously it's nice when the piano looks brilliant, and these Bluthners, we've done so many of them now because we like both the tone and the looks of the piano. These are original ivory keys, and I wanted to just feature this because the client said don't replace the ivory keys. If this was our piano, we might well have replaced them, because you can see here there's a bit of wear on the front edge there. The question I want to ask you, do you replace or don't you replace ivories? Because nowadays it's very commonly done. Steinways, apparently, when they restore their grand pianos, always replace the ivories. Nowadays you need a certificate to sell pianos with ivory keys. Exporting is difficult too. So there's quite a lot of reasons why we often replace ivories. If they're like this, we probably would have done, but I can understand you have to be careful if you don't replace them. Just tap them, make sure they're not likely to come off, because some of these have come off and been stuck back on again, so we've done the best we can to make them as good as possible. And so that's a question that you have to ask very often. We ask the question, do you want the ivories replaced or not? This is a Bluthner style 8 1909 that we've bought into stock, and we did decide to replace the ivories. They were patchy, so obviously choose the best material that we can find to replace them with. And one thing I wanted to mention on this is that if you do replace ivories, and very often, actually sometimes on some cheaper new pianos you get this, where when you play an octave, this edge here, you can feel it's a bit too rough, and you can quite easily just smooth it off on the edges here. If you've got a piano that's a bit rough here, obviously there's various ways of doing that with sandpaper, just smoothing off the edge, because they very often come with the edges not smooth enough. I'm mentioning that because it's a problem that it occurs quite often, and these are obviously, we smooth them off, so they're pleasant to the touch. But if you're playing an octave, you can often feel them, and that's not so comfortable. Now, we've restored the inside of the piano in a similar way to many others that we've done. We're so grateful to have had the opportunity to restore many of these, and there's plenty of other videos. So similar, but we're trying to learn all the time. Tuning pins very, very tight, because it's a brand new rest plank. If we look under here, it's a delignate rest plank that's used in a lot of new pianos these days. So there we are, the multi-layers here, you can see, and that holds the tuning pins really tight. So the original rest plank, by the way, would have been blacked over normally, so nearly always Bluthner grand pianos blacked over. You can see this is a brand new rest plank, so that's just like a new piano. And the soundboard under the strings has been restored, and the frame's obviously been refinished, just like a new piano. Another 100 years and it might need redoing again. That's how wonderful these pianos are. So it's better to redo an older piano, we believe. It's a really high quality piano than buy a new piano. It depends what sort of tone you want, obviously, and the touch, we have to try and get that like a new piano too. These are the bass strings, which the string line's so important for a string maker, trying to get that very, very even and close to the hitch pin here, and finished off beautifully. It's got the original Bluthner patent action, which Bluthner used up to about 1925. Parts are readily available. You can see one that's been replaced here. That's off the shelf of piano part suppliers. So if you're thinking, well, it's an old piano and we can't get parts, that's no problem at all. There's so many Bluthners that are restored, and we've restored so many ourselves. Now, the hammers are not worn at all, so the client found he wasn't using the piano. He'd inherited it, wasn't using the piano, so that's why we've got it into stock. So we're really grateful for that. So as the piano's been recently restored, there wasn't a lot of work to do. Pitch raising and voicing, that's obviously something we're always doing, voicing as well as pitch raising when it falls below pitch, so we wanted it concert pitch. Now, the weighting we've already done. My colleague has weighted all the keys, and you can see 50 grams, 51. We're trying to keep 50 grams plus or minus 1 normally, so going a little bit lighter into the treble. There's nothing to do on that score at all. So that's a Bluthner Style 7 grand piano, 192 centimetres long, 6 foot 4 inches long. And the piano doesn't need very much work because we've done all the work very recently. Normally when we get pianos in, we've got to do various things, but because we've already done this work, then just some refinement work. Pitch raising and voicing is the main thing, actually. So we're really grateful to get the piano back in. It's not often we get one of our restored pianos in so soon after we've done it, but if you do want a piano restored, then please let us know. We're really keen to restore top quality grand pianos, so please let us know. Please write to info@robertspianos.com and we'll see how we can help. If you're interested in buying the piano, please also write to us. There are other Bluthner grand pianos in stock at the moment, so there's quite a few to compare with. If you look at our stock list, then you'll see at the time I'm speaking there are others ones, so maybe when you watch this video there won't be. But we're always trying to get hold of this style of Bluthners. Style 7, Style 8 are the most common ones, and the shorter ones, Style 5, the pre-1925 ones, and then the shorter pianos after that. So after 1925 they start producing the Style 4, which is 5 foot long, and the Style 4A is about 5 foot 5, and the main ones after that. And then after the war, the Bluthner piano is totally different. So the younger Bluthners we tend not to deal in. They're totally different pianos once the factory unfortunately burnt down. I think it was in 1942. And after that, the piano was totally different. Bluthner nowadays are producing good pianos, but that was really since the wall came down and West and East Germany were united again.